In 2020, what started as a dramatic health crisis became the most profound economic and social crisis since World War II, much bigger than the 2008 recession. We can see how the COVID-19 plunged the EU into recession. Although this crisis was only due to external factors, a virus and the subsequent political health restriction, the impact varied greatly among member states, depending on their economic structure. The fall in GDP levels created economic divergence between countries, putting an end to a period of positive upward convergence. Convergence is one of the EU key political aims. It translates into Europe's commitment to lasting economic, social and territorial cohesion. Convergence is important because it's how we measure cohesion. Upward convergence means monitoring when member states improve their performances and move towards a certain economic and social policy target while decreasing disparities among them. It is a technical word, but convergence is at the very core and the foundation of the EU project. Without it, we risk economic, social and political instability. The shock to job loss was huge. In early 2020, there were 5 million less people working in the EU than in 2019. Lockdowns and social distancing measures to prevent the spread of the virus led to unemployment in hospitality, entertainment and travel sectors. But not all industries were negatively affected. We saw increases in staffing in telecoms, computer programming and pharma manufacturing industries. These may have reflected the shift to home office work and an uptick in demand for pharmaceutical products during the health crisis. Also, we saw that some countries fared better than others. And those hardest hit were the ones most severely affected by the COVID-19 and also relied heavily on tourism, services and global trade. The EU employment rate fell from 73.1 to 72.4%, with Spain, Ireland, Bulgaria, Lithuania and Estonia seeing the biggest drop. But as the pandemic continued, the comparison with the 2008 crisis revealed that the impact on unemployment was in fact much less severe. In 2020, unemployment only increased from 6.7 to 7.1%. Latest GDP growth shows a V-recession for many countries with a quick and sustained recovery. In 2020, there was a significant national and EU-level policy response. A raft of support measures were introduced and the EU Recovery and Resilience Facility was set up. This temporary recovery fund, made up of a massive 723.8 billion in loans and grants, allows the Commission to raise funds to help member states and address the challenges identified in country-specific recommendations under the European semester. So what would have been the dynamic in unemployment in 2020 if governments had not reacted and the EU had not responded? Let's assume the relationship between GDP and unemployment is the same as over the last 20 years. And then let's imagine that member states and the EU did not intervene or provide any support. What would have happened? Our calculations show that without policy intervention, unemployment would have been around 11.5%, 4.7 percentage points higher than it is currently. So what does the future hold? The latest data points to a strong economic performance after a sharp economic decline. The questions now are, will this growth last? What will happen when the support at national and EU level is discontinued? Can we live with high debt and high inflation, and how? How can we ensure that we maintain upward convergence in the economic and social dimension? And do we have all the necessary tools to do so? Stay tuned and listen to our experts.